Hey, little rollerblader, are you okay?
Hey! Will you guys stop talking about rollerblading?
Why? Are you afraid you're missing out on something?
Yes?
Welcome to the second episode of the Blade Rat Podcast. In today's episode, we join David Witt for a drive around southeast Portland. We discuss Broscow, Portland transportation trips, Burnside Skate Park, Star Wars and its relationship to blading, frame setups, and we scoop up David's 5-year-old son, Henry.
What's this vehicle we're riding in here, dude? We are in a sweet time capsule of a 1992 Honda Accord LE. It's not the deluxe. It doesn't have the sunroof, but it's got it where it counts. It's got what we need. It's getting us there. I mean, if you're a mid-sized family of 4, that's what you want to ride in, dude. Get the gold package, deck out that front end with the golden H. Sure. People knew what you were dealing with. This is like pre-SUV. This is blatant baller status. This is when people had to low-key ball it. The only thing available. I don't even think Acuras were getting crazy then. It was all, we were all in Hondas and Fords and Chevrolets. It was all good.
How'd you get this vehicle?
Pops hooked it up.
From where?
Way down in beautiful Whittier, California.
Oh, nice.
So if you had the chance to get down there.
Oh my God.
He's the vagrant on the BMX. That guy's got to be 55 if he's any age.
Right.
And he was just shredding across traffic, mostly heading toward traffic on his BMX bike.
Only in Portland.
Like a fucking savage. We're driving down Powell Boulevard, a main vein through Portland. And when you get to this area of town, you start to get into Alex Broscow hammer territory.
Sure. It's in the neighborhood where I live, so I'm always driving past and looking at spots. And
same with me.
Yeah.
I mean, it's like the most fun thing to do. The most fun thing to do in rollerblading is to stumble upon spots you've seen in videos and see what they really are. You can see a nice polished video and be like, dude, I got that front side stock trick, no big deal. But then this particular one that we're coming up on, which sadly, or maybe not so sadly, is a dead spot now. It's been converted. There's a fence up now. They resurfaced the parking lot. It's not what it was.
The bowling alley rail with
the
flat rail. It's like a flat out rail with a drop off into the sidewalk. Broscow does front side to fakie.
In nowhere.
Yeah. Super gritty, gravel and everything. It's not a...
Right. And not only are you just jumping up to a front side that's a progressively higher and higher drop rail, but you're jumping out to it.
Right.
So there's a big opportunity. We're driving by it right now. It's on the right. Of just anything going wrong. Toe clippage. There's fucking this, that, and the other. It's a sketchy, beautiful spot.
Sure.
And he did it perfectly, and I'm almost happy it's gone. There's actually 3 or 4 other spots in that particular edit that, again, because of the boom of new Portland residents and new condos going up, those spots are gone forever.
Right,
so they're captured in that section. Alex and Amir did an amazing job on it, and now that's the only place they live.
And that's why media is so special and so important, right?
We'll capture it, dude.
Sure.
Just like this sweet ride. It's a time capsule. You see, it's that moment in time, and it's captured perfectly, and nothing else needs to be done on those rails, on those spots. Nothing else could have been done on those rails, on those spots.
And no one even hit that rail, that one that Broscow did, the front side to fakie. And when you watch it, it's one of my favorite clips because he kind of has a sketch out factor to it, which is very rare in his skating. So you know that it's super.
It's a big deal.
Right?
It's a big deal. I mean, this is literally my commute to work. So it's a 15-minute drive from home to work. I pass that spot every day. I probably stared at that spot for a year before I downloaded that VOD, and then when I saw it, I was like, "Fuck, of course he did." And he did it better than I would have ever.
How about that fish brain into the wall? It was basically like a drop off, and he fish brains and then scoots out fakie. There's a wall abruptly at the very bottom of it. It's probably a 15 stair or something.
Yeah, it's
pretty massive.
It's a big scary drop rail.
I don't know if anybody can do that in the skate crew, to go and hit this rail and then avoid splatting against the wall. Like, once you see that trick in person, you're like, okay, that was crazy. And,
right. Well, because you see him perform it, and the thing about Alex is, like, he's precision. He's like, he is as good a skater as he is anything else. And I mean, like, just awareness of where his feet are, what his sole plate does, like what his boot is capable of. He's woke on that whole across the board spectrum.
Right.
And so, I think when you go to that spot and you see it in person, you see how truly impossible it is, because that wall that he like casually slides into is like at the bottom of the rail.
Right.
So you'd hit the ground and you're there. So it's like, what do you do now? So man,
coming up to another Broscow spot on the left right here, we got this. It's the wall rail on the left under this underpass.
Yeah, what do you describe it? Just like a sidewalk with a wall rail on the side.
Yeah.
High speed.
I think what's he do? Grinds it for a while and then he wall rides out of it or something.
Wall rides out of it and then it's like one of those perfect, like, just high speed rollerblading just down a hill.
Yeah.
Like you see it in like San Francisco Bay Area edits a lot, where they're just bombing down a fucking side street.
Yeah.
With like real consequences. But it's dope.
I love when blading has, and I think this is super important in edits or trick selection, skating, whatever, however you're trying to project yourself, but replay value.
Oh my god.
Like to be able to watch that trick again and again because he scoots out of it avoiding a wall or whatever, but or whether it's just a mind-bending trick of technicality. Like, replay value is however you make it. But for example, like Robbie Pitts, replay value after replay value. You can watch his skating now or a decade later, and it's still going to be as great as it was.
Well, I think that's the key to a lot of rollerblading, is like the timeless factor, like, and the true execution of a trick. Like, the reason you want to watch it over and over again is not the spot, it's not it's like that it was done so well that every time you see it, essentially you get like a little something new out of it. Like, I don't know, you notice another detail of the spot itself, or the way that he did it, or again, like we said, visiting a spot, you get this like larger perspective of what it is. Peek out to the right here, there's like a weird little piece of art that I always look at.
Yeah.
It's got weird little side kinks. It's like what it is, it's like art made from old railroad ties, like old railroad tracks. And it looks cool.
I love when they make skatable art out here in Portland. There's a spot.
Just the way that we have them attached to our feet. Like, we don't need to ollie or bunny hop or whatever into it. Like, we have a unique situation on on the blades, with the blades.
Sometimes even we can do step-up sort of tricks where maybe you're running up an obstacle or running up a stair set, which no one else could really do,
right?
Hypothetically.
Right. I mean, and it just shows how different it is from a bunch of things that all kind of look the same. We're at 12th and Hawthorne. This is kind of like the center of this little area over here. Always a good activity. We're getting into my neighborhood. We've done a fair amount of street skating around these parts.
It's always good-looking girls on Hawthorne.
Always pretty girls, man. That's the thing about these popular place to live.
We got a Nike bike right here.
We got Nike Town. We out here.
If you ever come to Portland, super easy transportation options to get on and off the bus, off the Max, the train. The Nike bikes, they have like these orange baskets in the front that you can actually throw your blades into. So if you ever visit Portland, lots of options to just get around street skating or go to different parks and stuff.
No doubt. The train goes all the way to the airport. So you can just take it from PDX and never look back.
Yeah, and the crew is we're kind of spread out all up throughout the city. So people are down to session kind of any sort of where you want to go, really.
Right.
How many parks do we have in the city?
We have more parks in the city than I've ever been around. We've got,
I think it's 100 within an hour radius or something, and
right, and like 5 or 6 of those are actually pretty good.
Yeah. Yeah, lots of little tiny, and I don't know, every park has, what I noticed here is a lot of the parks have every park is different, has different terrain, and that's kind of exciting to kind of, I don't know, just challenge your opportunity to skate any sort of obstacle. Or like for me, I love a good old soul grind. So if you can find the weirdest, craziest shit to do a soul grind on, like, oh my god, that can make my day,
Right.
So,
but the only gripe I ever have with Portland skate parks is that this is puddle town. It rains here all winter long, and yet there's not any covered skate parks.
Right.
Short of Burnside, and you guys all know. You guys all know the deal with that spot. Skate or die, bro.
Yeah, there's a lot of skateboard hate out there, unfortunately, and a lot of bird shit and needles everywhere, and it's just
Right.
not the most friendliest park. You're gonna get dusty and gross. It's kind of dope now. It's at least painted. It looks photogenic.
It's not a bad park. I've
Yeah.
skated it a few times. It's just you got to deal with the peeps.
It's too bad we don't have something like Eugene where it has sort of a covered area that you can skate at any time.
Right, and the thing about it, dude, is the tools are here. Portland's got a whole bunch of big old basketball courts covered in big old permanent roofs. It could happen. They're just not thinking about it the right way.
Right.
You know, cover the damn park because you're closing it down for 7 months out of the year.
Yeah, for sure. Well, it looks like we pulled up to your spot, so let's go inside and continue this conversation further.
Let's do it.
David Wittman welcomes me to his charming southeast Portland brick apartment. David's apartment is decorated in retro toys, Star Wars swag, vintage VHS gems, and of course, classic Nintendo game setup. David has a fine taste in 90s culture and swag. His knowledge and wisdom is rooted as deep as his passion for blading. We sit down to discuss blading and our versions of Master Yoda, as well as young Luke Skywalker.
Still works. What year is this?
1982.
Oh, wow.
That toy was released. My dad used to run a chain of toy stores when I was a kid. You know what KB Toys is?
Yeah.
So before that, it was called Toy World. And he would just have all the shit. I mean, it was like he was like stoked on toys, and I was a baby, and so all the Care Bears, all the Legos, all the G.I. Joes.
So you big into like the old school throwback toys?
I wouldn't say I'm big into them. I have an appreciation for them, but I pick things up here and there.
Yeah,
You know, I'm like the most casual enthusiast you've ever met.
Sure. Well, sometimes it's cool to just have that ornamental throwback stuff lying
Just
around.
here and there, you know, like
Reminders of childhood, right?
Right. Nothing too crazy. I thought we'd just sit here and fucking take a couple pokes at it. Not only is that the Nintendo Zapper, it is the original gray, pre-parents getting in the way of thinking that their kids were all going to get shot up for walking around with Nintendo guns. Fuck up some ducks with that.
Oh, I've seen it before. That Star Wars poster is amazing right there.
Thank you. Original. Thanks, Dad.
Empire Strikes Back. It's like this really cool montage or mural of Star Wars-y pics way ahead of its time.
Fuck yeah, man. That movie came out like 1980, I think. That was before I got around.
Who's your favorite Star Wars character? Characters. Three.
Right. I mean, you gotta put Darth Vader up there. He's a badass.
Sure.
I thought he was captured well in that Rogue One movie. Have you seen this movie?
Yes.
This is like the new story.
Yes.
Vader was pretty badass in that. Because, you know, we've been around that guy for a long time. He's been around since before we were born, so he was never really that scary to us.
No mercy for Han.
Nope, ruthless. Han Solo's pretty badass too. I might put him in that top 3. And then, I don't know, what do we do? I got a Yoda literally tattooed on my right bicep.
Wow, yeah, you can't forget, so.
It's in ink.
Yeah.
So Yoda, let's put Yoda up there. Vader, Solo, Yoda.
Mine would be R2-D2. Every single movie he's got a new little trick or contraption, always saves the day.
I already want to change my answer. R2-D2.
Number 2, Yoda, Jedi Master.
The guy.
Pure wisdom, pure dopeness.
Okay.
And then I would take number 3, Boba Fett.
Oh, yeah, the sleeper.
Yeah, I mean...
The bounty hunter.
Is he a villain?
I mean, no, I think he's a working man.
Yeah,
he's a bounty hunter. He's for hire. He has no skin in the game.
He's got all the dope toys and weapons, and
he's got Slave One, his famous ship.
Yeah, I love it all though. I mean, the newer ones have their weird quirks and flaws, especially episode 1 through 3. Like Star Wars, you kind of have to take it for what it's worth. You know, sometimes we have a little weird moments in content or blading, and you just kind of have fun with it.
I think you can definitely equate that to blading.
Yeah.
In that, like, I think there's probably... I'm I'm not going to put a hard number on it, but there's a significant number of media bits that I see throughout my day, scrolling through social media, looking at blading content, that I'm like, this ain't for me, man, but it still gets the like.
Sure.
It still gets the support because I enjoy blading overall.
Yeah.
So people always make the equation, oh, I don't fuck with mushroom blading, but I like to watch it. Like, that's true. And you should. Everyone should, by the way, because they're super talented guys.
Sure.
Like, they are doing different things on skates.
Kind of my favorite thing to watch.
Right. Fluid. Well done. But even what I'm talking about more specifically, I'm talking about the guys like that are maybe aging out of blading a little bit, or were never that good, or whatever, that are just doing it, filming it, putting it out there, are super proud of what they do. And while I have what I consider a pretty refined eye for the rollerblading, like, I can still appreciate what they're doing. And even if it's like garbage, I'll be like, I will support it because I'm proud of it too. Like, I'm into rollerblading overall, so I want to support all angles.
Yeah, absolutely. This is the last sort of topic about Star Wars and such, but
right.
I just want to make mention that, David Witt, super OG from, where are you from exactly?
I'm from a place called Santa Barbara.
Yeah,
that's in Southern California.
Yeah, Santa Barbara. Every time David Witt comes out, everybody's juiced because we know that he's kind of the master Jedi of the crew. Who's the Luke Skywalker and who's the Master Yoda?
Are we talking about Portland blading or
No,
blading?
no, I'm talking just blading in
rollerblading.
general. Rollerblading in general.
Fuck.
Yeah.
I think finding like the Skywalker is the real challenge, because I see shit all the time that is unbelievable from like guys that are so young. And the weird thing about young rollerbladers is you look at them and you're like, how the fuck did you get into rollerblading?
Sure.
Like, why aren't you on a scooter? Why aren't you on a skateboard? Why aren't you playing arena video games? It blows my mind, because I got into blading in the mid-90s when America was into blading. Like,
right.
Fucking Slim Jims and Mountain Dew and hot dogs and fucking everything was rollerblading. We had the fucking Mighty Ducks movie. We had Airborne. Everything was fucking rollerblading. So it was easy. They were everywhere. You bought skates and you either kept doing it and did what I'm doing now, which is more than 20 years later, or you didn't, and they went to your parents' garage, but they were there. So the Yoda's, I think, easier to answer. Julio's up there for sure.
Oh, yeah.
As like the consistent,
Sure.
forever, always stylish. All his parts like look like this through line.
Yeah.
His style has always been the same. Go watch VG4. It'll fucking blow your mind. It's modern rollerblading.
Who also came to mind for me was Leon.
Dude,
Just because
of
he's
course.
super master Jedi. I mean, look at the guy skating. He went from, like aggressive to wizardry, and his wizardry is just mind-blowing.
Right. So watching old edits of him as aggressive skater, you're like, yeah, he's outstanding. Super fun to watch. But the wizard stuff is like, fuck, I have to rewatch things all the time because I can't actually tell what they're doing with their skates, what surface they're sliding on, how they're doing it.
I love it.
I got a little sense of that from the Sean Keen edit that just came out.
Oh my gosh.
But I will talk about that later.
Yeah, let's talk about that later. So who's the Luke Skywalker?
I got to swing back real quick to the Yoda.
Sure.
Because there's a guy that's like my age, or maybe even younger, but I've always loved, and I've never really met him, but I've always followed his shit, is Robert Guerrero. So good, dude. And has just always done tricks perfectly. He happens to have a big vocabulary of tricks, but he definitely has a bunch of tricks he goes back to, and they're always awesome, and they always get better. And I think he's like looks better and skates better, and like makes it look as fun as he ever has at this point when he doesn't skate as much as he could.
Big supporter of yoga, probably also contributes to his style. And
yoga, stretching, like body awareness, mindfulness.
Yeah, he's the most spiritual guy in blading.
Right.
Also, gosh, you got to appreciate his balance. I mean, he did, the longest rail ever, and then also, if you've seen some of the transfers that he's done, or just kind of snaky grind things, success slides, or
just grind, like 4 grind combos that, like, you're actually traveling somewhere.
He is
doing it.
Wow.
He's badass, dude. So he's always there.
Wow.
As an influence.
So, yeah, does that answer about the Yodas of blading?
I think so.
Okay.
I think so. And like I said, the Skywalker one's way harder because, like, They're just all so good. I mean, one guy you see that's fun to watch develop that is local is the White Wolf, dude. Like
White Wolf.
The White Wolf is like
Stephen Babcock, for all that you don't know who that is.
That's right. What do they call that? His government name?
I'm not sure.
I'll go with White Wolf.
He does some really mind-blowing next-level tricks with negatives. I was skating with him the other day. I saw him. It was like this flat route that kind of slants up a little bit, and he did a Mizu up, came back down it. So now he's going backwards like Elliot Miz to 0 neg top acid to fakie 3 out. And this was a trick that wasn't filmed for a camera or photos or anything. This is just White Wolf doing something impossible that happens.
Like warming up.
Yeah.
Like I spent the afternoon trying to topsoil it, and I did finally. But even then, it was like whatever. He just comes up and like has this intuitive, creative way of rollerblading that like I never got to.
Yeah.
And so while he is young and learning and refining, working his way to refining his tricks, like the future is ridiculous.
Yeah. Any other Luke Skywalkers out there? I'll throw out my draft picks.
Right.
I feel like Broscow. I mean, he's had this all sorts of. He's also evolved in sort of his skating. You know, we've seen him in all different forms of Broscow, much like Luke Skywalker.
Right.
And now he's just such a refined Jedi. So
actually, I would 100% go along with that.
Yeah. The other person that I'll throw out there too is young Luke Skywalker himself. Luke Naylor. I think his handle is Luke Skywalker or something.
It might be.
It
might be.
But anyway, I'm sure you've all seen his skating from the Bitter Colds, from Motortown Classics, from all the Detroit comps and all the Midwest comps. But
I'm a fan. He's good.
Young up-and-comer, but I mean, I think, how old is Luke now? 20? Yeah, I know he's over 21 now. He's probably 22 or 3.
Maybe 23.
Yeah, they're working on that Catfish film.
Right.
You know, young Michigan blade flick, gonna be super sick. Your boy Kevin LeBeau, filming and editing that, and I'm a huge fan of his work. You should check out his stuff on Vimeo. Super young, his skating is mind blowing. I can't do any of the tricks, and his like.
Nope.
Sometimes you think that Luke is just a comp skater, and then you see him skate street like the past year or so, and his skating has just leveled up. Like, I mean, he's just whipping fakie 5s over sets like nothing. He looks like a young Nick Lomax or something.
Yeah, I can see that.
Except for even with better style. Mm-hmm. So shout outs to homie Luke Naylor. Yeah. So anybody else fit within that category? Maybe one more draft pick.
I just keep thinking about Alex. You keep talking about Alex, and yeah, man, his last few sections he's dropped, like the best. I mean, the debate is always the hammers versus the technical. I always thought he's done a really good job of balancing the two, where you're like, you talk about you bleached or something, you know, and man, people go, oh, it's super tech, but like, there was a couple things in there that were fucking mind blowing, dude. That 360 off of the ramp, over the rail, down into the parking lot. The level of difficulty and the risk factor, unbelievable.
Yeah,
no doubt.
Nowhere was one of my favorite parts. Just all together, perfect piece, put well together, great spot selection. All around Portland, so super fun to see.
We have to expand on that soon.
Yeah.
Driving around and looking at the spots.
Sure.
Because they're around here and they're close and they're ridiculous.
I think we do more drooling at skate spots than actual skating sometimes.
No doubt.
We hop in David Wittman's time machine for a cruise to some classic Portland food carts.
You feel like eating?
Food carts, maybe?
Yeah. Was the big one like on Division?
Yeah, let's do that.
Okay.
More options, better.
Cool.
David Witt and I discuss Honda Wheelco's next wheel, a few upcoming projects, wish frames, and frame options.
New wheels. Yeah, so my brother's waiting on the new order of the new Hornets. It'll be a hot new wheel, all white.
Dude, that is key.
Designed by Scott Wagman. He does all of our wheel stuff. You should check out his work. I think his handle on Instagram is @DarkWizardBerserker. Just kind of like type that in and you'll see it. It's a like
Classic spelling.
Yeah, comic book artwork. Really detailed line work, really dope shit. His work is phenomenal. Shout out Scott Weigman. But the wheel is super dope, simple, and it's just like going to be the team wheel. My brother usually does the concept basically and kind of organizes all the artistry behind it. He's getting more into tattooing and whatnot, and he'll be doing more designs soon. And probably he's done some like pin designs and sticker designs and stuff, but he's going to do more hand-drawn stuff himself. I think he's trying to come out with a t-shirt this fall.
Apparel.
Yeah, so
That's what we need.
yeah.
More things to wear. I love a white wheel, man, and I think that size and the hardness is about right.
Yeah.
You know, like 59, 60, 61, that range. And then like you want like a 90
Yep.
minimum. All my last ones, all my Lampmans are just slightly smaller, perfect versions of what they started with.
Right.
You know, they
Mine too,
wear well.
They did ride 4 down, and I'm probably 170, so I kind of need to ride 4 down, but my wheels last super long, even on street.
Right.
Also, people are still gravitating towards, anti-rocker or 4 down setups. The market of frames and wheels is kind of all over the place. Like, people are experimenting with different things.
So many different setup options.
Yeah, and that's dope. And I think people should always like custom tailor their rig to whatever their skating needs are.
Right.
I love skating 4 down because I can maneuver quicker. I like the feeling of it. It's smoother.
The swivel aspect
fast.
is huge.
I like to skate fast and do a lot of toe rolls, heel rolls, and stuff. And to me, skating just looks a lot cooler. I feel like it does limit your stuff. So I'm experimenting with a lot of 4 down setups,
Right.
to try to see what's the best. If I ever find anything that I feel confident about, I'll let everybody know. But right now, it's been back and forth. Right now, I really love the Aeon setup. It was 4 down. It's just kind of perfect. I mean, they nailed the H-block groove.
I think in most cases it comes down to a question of execution. I think the technology's gotten wonderful. I mean, the grooves are great. Aeon in particular, I don't skate, but I appreciate the hell out of that skate. Like, it looks great, and they really dialed it in over the last couple of batches.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, there's so many different options. It's insane. I mean, look at those Wish frames that Robbie's skating and Miguel is skating, and
Miguel's ripping in those.
dude. And it's talk about a fucking groove that does what it does. Like, you're skating a flat, big wheeled setup with every trick still available.
Somebody let me borrow theirs on the shred tour.
Wow.
I skated them with V13s. I'm not a huge fan of the way that V13s feel on my foot.
I know. We've talked about this before.
And so the boot was a little weird, but the Wish frames in particular, they were fun for cruising, man. It was cool.
Right.
Like, I don't know. It was a really, really centered feeling, and it really just glides really well. I don't know. It's kind of a different feeling. So
That is definitely maybe a function over form setup. It's a hard pill to swallow at first look.
Yeah.
But I've grown to appreciate it.
Yeah.
And I like their message. So
Yeah, and I mean, shout out to any company that pushes
absolutely,
technology ground.
without a doubt.
Super dope, especially when you got weird experimental ones like those where they have bigger outside, smaller inside.
It's just different.
People opening up possibilities.
Well, and rollerblading is very subjective.
Yeah.
It's your personal experience.
Sure. And your setup is you have such a classic way of skating, but you skate really fast and you skate with hand tie rocker.
Yeah, dude. I mean, lately I've been experimenting with flat, but it is not ideal for me. I've always skated anti-rocker, and I try and I don't know. I have the ability to skate pretty fast at a skate park in anti-rocker, so it works out for me. And
do you like the grippiness that it gives you to?
Definitely. I mean, I like them both. I like talking about swivels and stuff with essentially what I'm riding is a slightly rockered setup. I've got a millimeter or two between the middle and the outside wheels. Mm-hmm. But while it's really fun, it's really unstable for me too. I'm so used to that, basically table legs on the 4 corners of my skates are what's touching. And so I know how I'm pivoting, how to get it in and out of a spin. I know where I'm at.
So what's the overall takeout? What do you think about with all the options out there with flat setups,
right,
anti-rocker setups?
I'm an anti-rocker rider that aspires to ride flat.
Okay.
But I'm super anti-rocker.
Do you think there's a preferred way that people should skate, or do you think it's all subjected to the skater in the way that they do tricks, or what's your opinion on that?
Well, I'll give you the short version of it. Like, I'm a huge proponent of how skating looks, especially the going into and coming out of tricks and like the what's going on in between tricks and a line. Like, I'm a rollerblader, inline skater before I ever aggressive skated. So I'm that first, and then whatever. So the aesthetic and all that matters. So getting to my point about it, like, ideally you would ride flat rocker if you were like a rollerblader.
Sure.
So you could skate across town if you needed to, hop in and off on and off the train, or fucking shred a handrail or a ledge. So we need to keep moving in that direction of making like anti-rocker and flat rocker come together by just, like you said earlier, just widening up the H block a little bit. Mm-hmm. Open up that groove, like make it undeniable, like the Aeon has done to ride anti-rocker. Nobody's riding Aeon anti-rocker. And if they are, they're wasting their time. It's like you're just dropping these little pebble wheels into a huge area where you should put a wheel that generates speed and stability for you.
Right.
That coming from a guy that keeps talking about how much he loves anti-rocker. But like I said, I want to eventually love flat rocker, but I don't love it yet.
Sure. Okay, fair enough. Let's we're at the food cart.
Let's eat.
Yeah.
Let's recharge.
Late energy.
Yep. Thank you.
What'd you get?
Pad see ew. Sometimes they call them drunken noodles. Just like wide noodles with meat and broccoli and stuff.
Yeah, I got something that I can't even pronounce.
What'd you say? 34?
32.
Keema parm? Like a veggie mix?
Pad keema parm.
Cool.
Pretty juiced.
I like Thai food.
I'm thinking about the jam. The Marionberry Red Pale Scout? Yeah.
Sounds pretty good.
Hi, how's it going?
Good. Can we have 2 of the Marionberry Red Ales, please?
Thanks, bro.
Yeah. $10, please. Thank you.
Shall we have a cheers?
Absolutely.
Cheers to the impromptu podcast and photo day.
Those are the best days. Ooh. And Marionberry's right up front. I could drink that all day.
Yeah, that's tasty.
Brad.
What's up, buddy? How you doing?
Yeah, you good. Hey, I got you a thing at my dad's house. It's so cool. It's a Star Wars thing.
Oh, sweet.
It's Luke's thing.
Nice.
Yeah.
I want to see that.
Show me a picture of it.
Here's the picture of it. Here's my. I have this, and I have.
Oh, it's like a sand racer thing, isn't it?
No, this is Luke's speeder.
Oh.
Land speeder.
Ah.
Yeah, dude. Land speeder, dude. Classic. Keep it OG. Hey, Henry.
What?
We're here.
Okay. Here, Dad. You have it.
Thanks.
That magic word is scooch over.
And you want me to self-destruct?
We do the elevator?
The elevator has bombs in it.
Let's find out.
You just push that button and get in.
Do we activate it?
You activate it. Go in.
You go first.
You just blew it up. You just push the button and self-destruct. I go really fast. What's the magic word? What's the magic word?
Open sesame.
Close earlock.
After countless booby traps and explosives, we finally safely made it back to David and Henry's apartment. Finally, I could learn a few Jedi truths about R2-D2's brother and the very rare
Robot Superman.
It's here. Here it is. And here's 3PO. This is so cool, I guess it. And here's the set. It doesn't come with R2. He's just from another set. He's a mouse.
Is this like C-3PO's brother or cousin or something?
No, that's
R2D2
R2.
cousin?
That's R2's. That's R2's brother.
Oh, what's his name?
CD10.
Oh, okay, cool.
He's an antenna. It's Princess Leia's droid right here.
That's Princess Leia? She looks like an 80s rock star. Like, seriously, like the wig with the headband and everything. Look at this, 80s rock star.
Totally.
She looks great, though.
See? Here it is. Here's the lightsaber.
Oh, sweet. This isn't a Star Wars guy, is it?
It's a spaceman.
Where'd he come from?
He comes from a set for a space shuttle.
Oh.
It's a little one. It's a little space shuttle. These are from Disneyland when I was having a trip to go there. That's Robot Superman. I made him.
Robot Superman?
Mm-hmm.
That's super cool. He has sort of a... What does he have on his head? That's just like his machine brain?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Super cool.
But look at R2's head.
What's going on with R2's head?
He has a fixer. Hey, this could be for. Hey, this could be for Darth Vader's pod racer.
Oh, yeah. You're right.
Thank you all for listening, and thank you for being a part of the Blade family. This podcast has been edited to condense time and enhance your listening experience. Please support us by visiting our Patreon page at patreon.com/BladeRatPodcast. Sign up to become a Patreon supporter and receive Blade Rat apparel and other rewards. Follow my work at BradOzPhoto on Instagram or BradOzentowski.com. And follow Haunted Wheelco on Instagram and HauntedWheels.com. Please continue to support local, support blading, and keep the passion alive.